we have on today the Golden State Valkyries #1 draft selection. She was selected with the fifth pick in the WNBA draft. We have Justė Jocytė. We were talking a little earlier on the podcast and trying to get down the name pronunciation, and it turns out I've been saying it wrong incorrectly this entire time. And quite frankly, I have not been able to get it down yet. So Justė, can you please correct me and say the correct spelling, or not spelling, but pronunciation of your name?
So the first name you got it perfect, like on point. But like the last name, I understand that like for Americans especially, it's really hard, but it's pronounced Yotsite. But it's just, I
Yeah,
guess for
I'm
you
gonna.
guys, it's
It
you're gonna
shouldn't be
get
that
used to it,
difficult.
maybe.
I pride myself on being able to hear someone say something and be able to repeat it back to them. And so I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and work on that one. But yeah, I'm glad to have you here. You are currently in Lithuania training for Eurobasket. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess to start,
We just started. Yeah.
yep. And so you told me that this first week has kind of been a little easier. But how has that been in general? I guess I'm kind of wondering like what that looks like in terms of like a day in the life of you stay. So, is it just practice from basically the entire day?
I mean, so basically, as you mentioned, I mean, the first week is really kind of like just a introduction week. I guess also because we're as a country, like we're not used to, qualify for these kind of competitions. So I mean, a normal day right now it would be like just two practices, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then the morning most of the time is just a lift, kind of activate your body, get some weights there, and then in the afternoon normally it would be like a 2 hour basketball practice. But as I said, like it's the first week, so it's just like get to know the place. I mean, our the head coach is new, so it's really uh it's not easy, because you always been used to one coach, and now the whole system kind of changes. But that's the part of the journey that you have to go through when you have a new coach. So yeah, the first week I think is just gonna be really to kind of get into shape, because a lot of players season finished like 2 weeks ago, so we were kind of all on vacation. So yeah, for the first week it would be like more or less like all the days would look the same.
Yeah. And I thought I saw somewhere that it's been 10 years since Lithuania has been in Eurobasket. Is that correct? Or is it a different time frame?
No, that's correct. Yeah, the last time they played, I think it was 2015. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So that'll be fun to watch for Valkyries fans to keep an eye on how Lithuania does throughout the tournament. But I guess I wanted to start with kind of understanding your background and, where you come from. I know we've already mentioned Lithuania, but you were born in the United States. Is that correct? In Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I mean,
And
specifically, I was born in Virginia, but I just say like to the non-Americans that it's Washington D.C., because I don't think a lot of people would know where that is.
and so was it that your parents were working at like the embassy?
Yeah,
And is that okay? That's correct. So your dad went to an American college and played basketball there.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he
And
went there. My mom kind of followed him through it, but I mean the basketball kind of career for him didn't work out. So he
mm,
just, they stayed there just to earn money. And yeah, they worked at the embassy, and then well they had my brother, and when they found out they were having me, they would just like, let's wait, so like the second kid gets a passport too. So me and my brother, we have an American passport, so that's always nice to have.
was your brother born in Lithuania or was he born in the States?
He was born in the States too, like a year
Okay,
before.
nice, nice. And when did you guys move back to Lithuania? How old were you?
I was barely 1 month old, so it was really just for the
Okay,
passport. Yeah.
yes, really just.
Yeah.
um. So, and then your father and your uncle played basketball professionally in Lithuania as well.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, my uncle, I would say, was the better brother. between them two. I mean, he played in Europe also, but again, like injuries happened, and now like he stopped. But yeah, both brothers were playing.
And then I guess when did you first start? It sounds like there's a basketball influence, throughout the family here. When did you start playing?
Well, as like playing and being with the ball as soon as I could walk. I
Yeah.
think with my brother always we were, since we are like 1.5 year apart, always with the ball. So I guess like since I don't know 2 years old, at first playing it with the mini hoop, and then at 6 years old, kind of I started like going to like real practices.
When did you feel like you started taking it like really competitively? And I don't, because even myself, like I played when I was really young too, and I played in leagues, but I don't know when I would consider starting playing competitively, whether that's in like middle school for me or,
And where
but
did
I
where
guess
did you
for
play?
you, where did I play? I
Yeah,
didn't get anywhere to your level. I didn't even get to college. I just played in high school.
yeah.
But I played college intramurals. That was my claim
Mm.
to. No, actually, there's no claim to fame there. But uh, so I feel like with you, like the thing I hear a lot is how young you were when you started playing professionally, when you started playing and representing the country. So when did you start playing, I guess, professionally?
Uh, I I would say I was around 15 years old, because well, when I signed to go to France, I was 13 when I signed. Then I got there, I was 14, but I was still like kind of, I was not really with the pro team. I was still like with the youth team. It was an academy built
Hmm.
like right next to it, so I was kind of playing more with my age girls. And then I think like there was a 2 year span where I just kind of grew into that, and I started practicing more with the pros, playing more. And then like I think when I was 15 going to 16, that's where I really started like to play and maybe have more minutes. So I would say like around 15.
That's incredible. And so you were playing in France. Is the city pronounced Lyon?
Yeah, Lyon.
And so you were playing there for 5 or 6 seasons. Did you learn the language while you were over there?
Oh yeah, I'm fluent now. I mean, fluent.
Nice.
I speak like a street language. I speak a lot of slang, because I kind of grew up there in the academy. With all the kids, speaking slang, teenagers. So like, if you would
Yeah.
ask me to write good French, or to speak like to a native person who speaks good French, maybe we would not have a nice conversation. But like, yeah, I speak freely. I mean with whoever, but it's just like a not a correct way to speak most of the time. But it
how many
works.
how
I
many
mean,
languages do you know then? That's
well,
awesome.
French, yeah, the French, Lithuanian, and English.
I feel like I read somewhere on Twitter, and I don't even know if this is true or not. So I guess you'll have to let me know. But you're gonna play in the Spanish league next year,
Mm, that's right.
and do you think you might try to learn that language as well?
For sure. I mean, I think Spanish language was on my list for a long time, and I think it's like when I went to New York. So it's a fun fact. I think 2 years ago, went to New York, and a lot of people speak their Spanish, and I was like, the English was not even necessary, because I was going with a Spanish friend. And every store we go to, and it's just like a Spanish dude, there being a cashier. So I mean, it
Yeah.
was just a funny moment. But yeah, I mean, I think Spanish is just such a powerful language, and I think that would be a complete package for me to speak that language as well.
Spanish, French, English, Lithuanian. You're just like, I don't know. Mandarin is like a it's like the other
Yeah,
top one,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
That one
no.
might be a difficult.
Maybe
um,
not.
yeah. How many countries do you think you've gotten to visit now through basketball? I feel like, you know, I imagine even without basketball, you've probably visited a lot too. But as people from the United States, traveling out of country isn't as I guess popular, or not popular, but just not it doesn't happen, I feel like, as much with everyone. If you asked
Yeah.
20 people in the United States, have you been out of North America? I feel like 10 of them are going to say they have not, maybe even 15. So I wonder, how many
Yeah.
countries that you've gotten to go to.
I mean, your country is big. There's no need really to leave, kind of. And like just for fun, I don't really like go visit because I don't really have that much time. But like through basketball, yeah. I mean, you have to like play in a Euro Cup competition or EuroLeague. You know, is you travel basically once a week at least somewhere, whether it's all around Europe. So is you don't really have time to visit the country or the city you play in, but it's always like nice to get like a different point of view of how people living, and like to see
Yeah.
something new like other than the country you're in at the moment. So it's definitely nice, but it's not like I visited a lot of countries for like vacation or something.
Yeah. I finally got to get out of North America like 2 years ago, and I went to visit my brother
Only,
in Spain.
really.
I well, I've been to Mexico plenty of times. I've been to the Dominican Republic, but outside of North America and going to Europe was
Hmm.
only like 2 years ago. Going to Spain, and then since that, I've been to the UK. I've been to
Hmm.
Paris. I've been to Portugal. So that's I really enjoy it. So I guess, do you have like I feel like I saw, I was looking online to see if I can find a video of you like pronouncing your name, and I came across some like Turkish airline kind of commercial where you're talking about like traveling, and you look like you're like 16 years old or something, and you were saying like you like you're saying like you liked going to different places and trying different foods. Do you have like a favorite style of food outside of your home country?
Spain. For
Okay.
sure, Spain. I mean, I don't know, it's a easy answer for me. I think Spanish food is just really like all the tapas they have is just
Mhm.
unmatched, like comparing to like other type of cuisine in like Europe. I mean, I've been only like really living in France, and I don't like French food, like really the real French food. So there's not a lot of things to compare. I mean, nothing compares to Lithuanian food for me. Like that's
Mhm.
just everything. But I mean, all of our food is based on potatoes, basically. So it's kind of
Okay, I was about to ask you. My partner, her mom makes like this Lithuanian style dish. I guess she's like 50% Lithuanian. I think her grandma might be from there. Uh, we've been calling it kugela this entire time, but we looked it up last
mm,
night, and it looks like it's spelt like it's pronounced kugelis. Is that you familiar with that
that's
dish?
right. Yeah, kugel is yeah. I don't really like it that much, but I mean it's
Oh,
good.
come on, it's my favorite.
So it's good then. It's really good. It's good. I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's good. It's potatoes basically with sour cream. Like you just,
exactly.
I feel like all of our dishes is just potato sour cream, but in a different shape, basically.
Yeah, yeah, we she makes it for like Christmas or Thanksgiving, and it's always something to look forward to. But yeah, so I guess now pivoting to, I don't know, the Valkyries. Are you I think the question that's on everyone's mind, that I feel like I've gotten different variations of an answer to, are you coming to play this season for the Valkyries? Is this a set? Do you know for sure if you are or you aren't, or is there still kind of in the middle of maybe there's a chance, maybe there's not?
Yeah, no, I will not be coming out this summer. I mean,
Okay,
it was something we kind of agreed, like both parties agreed to just not come out, to just focus on the Eurobasket, and they were okay with it. So I mean, we had some calls, and it was like really nice conversations with the GM, with the VP. So that was
nice.
just a mutual kind of decision.
Nice. Have you gotten a chance to? So I think yesterday the final 12 was announced. Are you familiar with any of those players? Do you know who was announced as the final 12? I
Well, I
guess
know
not all 12,
the
but like, are you
no, not all 12. Well, I know of course the three is three. Yeah, three French players that are there. Uh, Two Belgian players. I played against them. Who
I
else?
watched that game.
Yeah. Well, I know all of them actually. Like I know who they are, but I don't know them
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. So are you, I guess, kind of more staying on the Valkyrie side, but just in general of San Francisco as well? Like, are you familiar with San Francisco? When you've been to the United States, you've been to New York, Virginia. Have you been to anywhere else in the states? Has California been somewhere that you visited to, or is it not yet?
Mm. no, that side at all. Like I didn't know when I had the
West
call
Coast.
with yeah, with the West Coast at all. You know, I thought it was like I was asking about the weather when I had the call, and I thought like it's really hot there.
Hmm.
And they told me I don't know in Fahrenheit, but it's like in Celsius. It's like they told me it's like 25, so that's like sometimes you need to put a hoodie on or something like. But it can be also like nice with a t-shirt. That's my perfect type of weather because, well, here you don't get more than 30 Celsius basically. So I
So
haven't
okay,
been to part.
I just looked it up. I should know this, but I don't. 25 degrees Celsius is 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and I will say that in San Francisco, the place that you will eventually be playing, it's not like most of the other area. Like it just is pretty consistently cooler in San Francisco. Let me see if I can do a quick, like I feel like lately it's been in like the 60s. So what would that look like in Celsius? 15.5.
Yeah, that's kind of low.
That's kind of
That's
low.
kind of low.
It's
That's kind of low, but it's fine. It's still bearable. Like you put like
yeah.
joggers and a hoodie, and I'm good to go. Really,
It's my
that's
it's my everyday outfit. I go to take my dog out to the park and it's just joggers,
exactly.
hoodie.
Because
Yep.
I was thinking like Texas or something. Yeah, no, just couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
so the states that like kind of surround, I went to school in Arizona and it got to a point when I graduated that it was 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 46 degrees Celsius. It got really hot. And that's just
How
like
do you
right next
even live?
door, but it's not, that doesn't, it's just
How?
AC. Everyone has air conditioning and you can't it's not really encouraged to like walk outside during those times, but I remember like
No,
I
yeah,
walked like 2 minutes to the gym and I was just like sweating buckets profusely and it was like, dude, this
yeah.
is this is a 2 minute
No,
walk.
I've seen some TikToks where people I don't know like around there I guess like cooking some stuff like they put something on in a pan and they
On the
leave it
window
out and
shield.
it's
Yeah.
yes something like that and it cooks by itself. Yeah, that's crazy. No.
Yeah, I'll say, San Francisco is like a weird one throughout the entire Bay Area, California, Northern California, where it's pretty consistently cool. And then the days where it does get nice, it feels like one of the greatest cities on the planet Earth because, I mean, I've always felt like San Francisco is like kind of one of the most European cities that is in the United States. So maybe that'll be something that's kind of nice for you to
Yeah.
translate over and feel comfortable with more quick. Um, but that when I came back from Europe the first time, I appreciated San Francisco so much more because I was like, wow, this is such a cool city. But yeah, so I guess whether it's been intentional or not, the Valkyries have leaned into like a heavy international presence. Like you mentioned, there is 6 players from Europe, the 2 from Belgium, and then the French players. And I think Temi is from the UK. I think
Mm,
I'm pretty sure because I know she's playing for that team.
yeah.
And then there's one player from Australia. So does that make it easier for you to feel like more comfortable and connect with teammates quicker, or doesn't really do much?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know because I haven't been there, but I think maybe it will make me feel like more kind of home, like maybe easier to adapt. I don't know, especially like well, I played against half of the team already, so maybe that
Yeah.
helps. But I don't know.
I guess what was it like when you went to Lyon for the first time, being like, I don't know, 13 years old and trying to connect with all these French players, and maybe you didn't know the language then, or I guess how was that?
Uh, that was hard because French people don't really speak English, and especially I mean, yeah, I mean that's a fact. That's a real fact. Like there are some countries in Europe that like they have problems with English, and especially like teenagers. When I was living in the academy, it was hard. There was like 2 3 people in the whole academy that was willing to try and to speak to me, but really like me learning French really helped me to kind of adapt because I didn't see like other choice. Now I see like these days like people speaking more or trying more, having more confidence. But when I was there, that was I don't know. It was kind of depressing at times because you didn't really have nobody to speak to. But yeah, I mean in the States I would have no problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, I know you're like probably a pro by now in terms of traveling alone, but how was that? I guess when you first started doing it without parents, and was that lonely? Sorry to get deep, but I imagine it was. I
Yeah,
remember when
a
I went to
little bit.
college for the first time as an 18-year-old and left my parents, and I was sad.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I will always was a person that was kind of, I don't know, independent. I would say. I mean, the first flight I took alone, I was 11 years old. So my parents just kind of, because I went to like just a quick backstory. My brother was playing in Italy for academy, and that team, that girls team, kind of invited me to play for a tournament. So I said okay. And then my parents just dropped me off at the airport, and you just figure it out. And I think from
Yep.
that age, ever since, I had no problems traveling alone. And I don't know, of course, like traveling alone is kind of lonely, especially when you have a layover or something like that. But it's fine. Like I have no problems doing it.
Yeah, you just got to get the iPad rolling and start downloading movies offline,
A lot of
and you're good
movies,
to
yeah.
go. Yep. I think I was like 16 or 15 or 16 when my parents made me fly alone for the first time. And I was like, what the hell? Like, do you guys, I don't know if I'm ready for this. It's like a traumatizing moment. I still remember it. But I guess now pivoting to the draft, um, I feel like when I started kind of digging into the draft this year, a lot of like reputable draft analysts weren't entirely sure if you were draft eligible because for those who
Mm.
don't know, for the listeners, I believe if you are born in the States and attend an American college, or if you attend an American college in general, you have to turn 22 the year of the draft. So as long as you turn 22 in that calendar year, January through December, draft is in like April, then you're eligible. But if you are,
Yep.
I guess, born outside of America and you don't attend an American college, you just have to be 20. And you turn
Yeah.
20 in, is it November?
November, yeah. That's right.
So what I guess did you know this whole time you were eligible, or were you also questioning yourself like, oh well, I was born in the States, so maybe I do have to wait until I'm 22?
Well, to be honest, I didn't think it's gonna be a problem really. Like when I started my season, like of course I was not really focused on the draft because I had the season start and it
Hmm.
was just really far. But then like around, I don't know when it was, maybe February or something like that, or even March maybe, that my agent texts me. It's like, oh shit, we don't really know if you will be eligible because you're considered American. And I was like, it was just kind of quite a shock, because well, I don't consider myself American, of course, because I
Yeah.
have no family there, no ties with the states. I just have a passport because well, I was lucky enough to be born there, and yeah. But after a few conversations, they cleared me out. Kind of, they were like, it was barely a month there, so
And I guess what was that? I mean, I think most Valkyries fans has probably seen like your because you were not there at draft night. You were
yeah.
in were you in France? Were you in France or Lithuania?
France, we were having playoffs.
And so I think most people have probably seen, the moment where you get drafted and you hug your family. But did you know, like, what was that night like? And did you know that there was a good chance you were going to the Valkyries, or did you think, maybe you were going to go lower or higher, or?
Well, I didn't think anything to be honest, because obviously when you talk to teams, they don't say, "Oh, for sure, we're gonna pick
Mhm.
you," of course. So, but I just had this feeling. I don't know. I remember having a dinner before the draft because French time it was like 2 a.m. So we were having dinner, and my agent asked me, like, "Where do you think you're gonna go?" And I said, like, number 5, going to San Francisco, just
Mhm.
like that, because I don't know, I just kind of had a feeling, from the call I had with them. It just felt really natural and just a gut feeling, and it came true. I don't know, but it's just a funny story, to kind of
Yeah,
have this kind of feeling.
you basically manifested it. And I
Yeah.
think I only called it like a week before. I was like, I think there's a real chance that this is going to be who we get at 5. And here we are now, a couple months later, and now I'm getting to talk to you about it. So that's really cool in retrospect. But now kind of taking it to the basketball side. And I guess to the people who have never seen you play before, how would you describe your game per se?
Mm, a lot of playmaking for others. I don't play at point guard, but I still like to like share the ball. Really, I like to read a lot in the game. Like after pick and rolls, I would say that's my main strength. Really, like off the pick and roll, just to read the situation, read the defense, and then shooting. I would say also. I mean that's about it for
What would
now. Obviously.
yeah? What's like an aspect of your game that you're most comfortable with, like your favorite skill, I guess?
I think the reads just how I read the game. That it just I don't know. It kind of comes natural to me.
Hmm.
Because I can see. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the smartest one on the court, but I just say like whenever I play with some players and I see like sometimes they need to really be focused or sometimes they're struggling to like remember plays or to read the defense. I don't know. For me, it kind of comes natural. I like to be learning the game. I mean, I watch a lot of games and stuff. So I think that aspect, I think that for me is the most important. Like, because you can add like the physical, and you can put up some weight and get faster. But I think like to get your IQ is not it's not that easy. Like to get it higher, kind of to
Yeah,
make
you're
the understand the game more. It's not that easy as like to get stronger.
yeah, yeah, I hear you. And I guess since you mentioned like, there's still stuff that, you're going to add to your game eventually. So what is like an aspect of your game that you're like actively trying to improve on?
Uh, just the physical part, really, to get my body stronger. That's what I'm planning to do after the Eurobasket. Really, like defense. Obviously, I always say to everybody, I don't kind of want to be a target on the court because I feel like every team is searching for that. Who to attack when who is on the court. So just not
Hmm.
to be the target, kind of work on that, work on my speed, my footwork, and then obviously like always I'm obsessed with the game, so I always want to work on like little details. Even if I think I'm pretty good at like reading the game, I think you can always get better, like
Yeah.
shooting off the ball, off the dribble, like little details.
I feel like you already got a leg up on people considering you're 6'1" or 6'2", and then figuring out the defense. Like you've already got like the size on your
Mm,
side.
yeah.
Uh, so I get you mentioned you're obsessed with the game. So who's your favorite player of all time?
mm, don't really have one, to be honest. I just love watching the game, love to watch how players act on the court, like their body language. For example, like one of the favorites is Marion Johannes,
Hmm.
mostly because of I think how confident she is and how she doesn't care to take a shot when it's a tight game, and she will not care. Either it goes or it doesn't go in.
She
So
lets it fly. The one leg, like almost like a runner from the 3-point line.
yeah, I mean,
that that one's it.
when you think about it, it's really hard to guard because you don't know if you're gonna drive or you're gonna let it fly. So, I mean, I
Exactly.
think it's a smart move. Obviously, it's hard to master it, but I mean, really, it takes hours, I think, to practice that shot. But really,
Oh,
like her,
100%.
yeah, like but her confidence and the way she like carries that around her is really something I look up to. And I mean, I had the chance to play with hers for some years. I think for 4 years, 4 or 5 years. So really, I got a lot from her. And then just like all the players, I love to watch how they play it, like to pick up a move or something, just a detail. But I don't really have
Yeah.
a specific player that I'm really like focused on.
Are you familiar with your nicknames? Being, I think it's the baby-faced assassin as well as You Stay Magic. Have you
Yeah,
heard those two?
yeah. The
And
babyface assassin. I think that was when I was 13 or something. That was when I still had a baby face. Well, I still do have, but at that time it was really I was looking like a baby, really. But
are you familiar with the NBA players with those nicknames?
well, Steph Curry.
Yep, yep. He's
Steph
Oakland to
Curry.
San Francisco. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that when everyone saw that, they're like, "Oh wait, they call her the baby-faced assassin." And everyone's like, "Oh, this is a match made in heaven with her coming to San Francisco. Stephen Curry
Yeah.
still on the Warriors." And then You Stay Magic, I believe, is the Luca Magic nickname. You were
Mm.
compared to like you're like like the WNBA's version of Luka Doncic playing so young
Yeah.
in the pros and overseas. And do you want your do you hope those nicknames change one day? Or are you cool with them?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know if they will change. I don't know if there will be some new additions. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm fine with them. It doesn't bother, So,
Yeah, I think they're great nicknames. I think naturally, I'm sure others
mm,
will add on, and you'll have some more. Do you have like okay? So you said you're not coming this season, but I think for I don't even know if like as athletes you're focused on like the now and focused on like not really focused on what could happen, more so on
mm.
right now. And but I guess have you thought about like maybe there was a chance you were to come this year? Did you ever think about like what your goals were for this season, which now will be next season, your first year in the WNBA?
Well, before I got drafted and I was talking to the teams, I always said like I'm kind of flexible. Like I'm open like to come out this summer. Obviously, I would do the Eurobasket, and I'm open like if the team doesn't really need me for this year, I'm open to do it on 2026. I mean, and with the Valkyries, it was I think at the end it was a good match because that's what we both wanted.
Hmm.
But I was really ready to kind of do both, and well, now I'm just really focused because the 2026 is really far,
Yeah.
and now I really like to be in the present, and now it's like the main focus is on the Eurobasket.
Do you have you thought of like any I mean, I know, with your priority for the national team,
Mm.
uh is there like a long-term goal for you, whether that be like a championship or an MVP or a gold medal in 2028,
Mm.
or like
Mm.
is there any long-term goals that you've thought about?
Well, I love to dream big. I mean, when it comes really to national team, I don't really think about personal uh, awards like getting the MVP or something. I think it's just
Mm.
really trying to put our country back on the map because it's been gone from Europe for 10 years, and now we're finally back. And then obviously first I want to get started again in Europe, then go to the World Cup like step by step, and then obviously the main goal is the Olympics, of course, 2028 or 32. I don't know yet, but it's a long way when you kind of come from nothing and you just have to build over and over again.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I guess kind of to take it away from like move away a little bit from the sport. Do you have any hobbies outside of the sport? I know you like taking
Yeah.
taking photos and videos with you have a separate Instagram page for that. Is that kind of one of your favorite non-basketball activities, or do you have a few more?
Oh, for sure. No, that's the top one. I think like it really, I don't know, it calms me down, puts my thoughts away, and also I enjoy doing it. I enjoy editing them. I'm not a professional for those who will go check the page and don't come at me. So it's just really something I do for fun. Whenever I have a couple days off, I go to visit a country or a city, and I just like to, film the nature, some art, how people interact, and things like that, and just kind of put them together, put a little music, and just share with
Let it
my
fly.
just let it fly exactly. So it's really something I enjoy doing it, and I mean, apart from that, I don't really have time, to have something else to do. I mean, obviously, I have things like being my family and my friends. My cat obviously is my top priority. To be honest, whenever I'm back home, I just don't let him go of my sight. So really, but those I think those are my top three. I would say if somebody asked me.
Is the cat gonna make its way to San Francisco?
I don't know. I would love to, but I had some problems with him. Because when I got him for my birthday almost 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Everything was fine, but then I started to. We had some away games and like some games you had to be like for a week away, and well, my cat didn't take it in a good way. He started peeing in my
Mm.
bed, peeing like constantly on my bed, so I had to kind of ship him out back to Lithuania to my parents, where they most of the time they're home
Yeah.
and he can go outside because obviously I was living in an apartment in France, so he was just kind of stuck. So I don't know, maybe in the future when he is really all grown up and learns how to behave, maybe he will make his way onto San
That's
Francisco, but
right.
not for now.
As a pet owner myself, I can say that it's definitely difficult if you're not going to be home all the time. But you think with
What
cats,
do you
like they're
have?
pretty self sufficient. I felt like I have a golden doodle. It's like a uh, I got a dog when I was in my senior year of college. It was like 2020. It was during COVID, so I didn't have to go to
Mm,
class, so I could just be with the dog all the time, raise
yeah.
her, and I lived with like six other roommates, and so she got really used to being like social really quickly. And to this day, it's benefited
Mm,
her. She can be with any human being and be fine. She could be with any other dog because they used to bring dogs over and she'd be fine. So it was just a
mm.
good time to try and raise a dog. But also, like, I'm not a traveling basketball player. I go to work. I have to leave this apartment and go to the office 2 times a week, and she gets to have me around most of the time. So
She's
there's
really
no
lucky
peeing in
then.
beds over here.
Yeah, I mean, with dogs, it's kind of easier with that. They're not really that revengeful, but cats are just
they
it's tough.
Yeah,
But
there was
but
a vendetta. Like, screw you, you left me. I'm making it miserable up here.
yeah. So advice for others, like don't get cats sometimes. But they're at the same time, it's my favorite thing in the world. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a hard relationship we have.
While you were chatting there, I went through. I made a ton of questions, and I sent them over to Lauren, your agent, and I thought that I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get through most of these. I just have these as like, we'll get to whichever
Yeah,
ones we get to, and we got through all of them. I've got nothing left. I wasn't
really.
expecting to get through all of them, so thank you. You've been great at answering these questions. I guess to end it here, where should we expect to see you stay in the year that you are not with the Valkyries? So you have Eurobasket coming up. I believe that's in the
Mm,
middle of June, but you'll be preparing for
yeah.
that already, starting now, leading up to it. And then after Eurobasket, is it just off season until that Spanish league starts?
Yeah, basically, I think I'm gonna take a week off or something after the Eurobasket, but then it's like off season. That's where will really try to work on my body to get it stronger, and also I need to have another call with the team. But I mean, there was an idea for me to come out for a couple of days to kind of meet the team, like and see everything. But I just need to kind of figure out with the home games because I saw in July they don't really play at home, so.
Mm,
Maybe I don't know. I will have a probably a call with them to see if I can come out in August or something because I think that'd be really nice to kind of get to know the fans, the city, and I mean obviously to see a game. Was the atmosphere there? Because I saw a lot of people in the arena, and that was really shocking to me to see. That's really nice to see.
I was there. There was like I think 17,000
Yes, and
something at a
something. Yeah,
preseason game,
that's
and
crazy.
tomorrow is season opener, and I bet there will not be like an open seat. Everything is going to be taken. Everyone wants to be a
Yeah,
part of history and go to the first
for
ever
sure.
Valkyries game. I might try to sneak in my camera, which is usually allowed, but sometimes they don't allow it. So I'm always confused if I could bring it or not. So Valkyries, if you're
Yeah,
listening to this, just like let me bring in my camera, please.
they
But
don't give
that
the
would be
they
cool to
don't give
get you out.
like they don't give like the passes or something.
Well, they do probably. I haven't signed up for like the media stuff yet.
Yeah,
Maybe that's something I should look into so I could bring in my camera. But I'm gonna go with my partner. We want to sit and be
yes,
with the fans, and
sure.
but it's something I've been looking forward to for like multiple years, and it's just so cool to see it all in fruition. There was finally we had the expansion draft in like November or December, and now we had the actual draft, and you were who we
Yeah.
selected, and now hopefully everyone here gets to know you through this podcast. So I'm super excited to watch you play, especially during Eurobasket, during the Spanish League, whenever you come over next year. I know that this is a fan base that you could tell they've been waiting for this for a long time. When I went to that preseason game, I've been to so many Warriors games, so many college, high school. Never. That was my first WNBA game. Because we didn't have one in the local market, so
Yeah.
I never went to any of the surrounding ones like the Sparks in LA or the Mercury in Phoenix. But So last Tuesday, the first preseason game was my first ever WNBA game, and I'm used to like, you know, in the NBA games when they put the camera on fans and they start dancing, it's like, haha,
Mm,
this is like funny, but like nice. And in the
yeah.
WNBA, I don't know if this is a WNBA thing or if this is just the Valkyries fan base was just waiting for this to happen, just a team so they could celebrate anything and everything. But they put
Mm,
someone on the camera. That person gives 2% effort to dance, and everyone went nuts. The entire arena was just like going crazy. And I just felt like it was just, they've been waiting for a team and they just want to cheer at anything and everything because it's just been
yeah.
so long. And so, there was these kids playing at halftime which I'm used to seeing. But for the WNBA in this WNBA game, it was just like 12-year-old, 8-year-old kids playing full court, and they were
Mm,
going nuts at every single basket, every single steal, every single block. Like the announcer recognized that people were going nuts, so that she grabbed one of the players and did a post game interview with them, and everyone was just going nuts. It's just like a really wholesome environment that I'm not really
yeah.
used to when I attend basketball games. So I'm excited to see that play out, and I can't wait for you to be a part of that as well. So I mean, when does the Spanish league start so we could watch you there too? Do you know, or is it like
I think it starts like end of September,
okay?
something like that. Yeah.
Well, this podcast will always probably have like a little you stay segment where we keep
Yeah.
the people updated on how you're doing over there. So yeah, I've got nothing else. Where can people find you on Instagram or any of the other social media platforms?
Yeah, mostly I mean Instagram. I have a TikTok, but I don't really post. It's just my last name, basically.
Hmm.
If you can
We'll
pronounce
link
it,
it.
obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the drawing board after this podcast and just keep saying it over and over again until like the pronunciation, the accent or whatever just like fits. But you also have the camera, the photo page as well. That's just like
Mm.
your net last name, and or are we trying to keep that one private?
No,
I
no,
think no,
it's
you
fine.
put it on your story.
Yeah, I always put it. No, it's not private. It's just like to keep it like kind of separate from the main page.
Yeah. Even then I'm excited for you to get to San Francisco because you got to bring your camera because this is a pretty
Of
picturesque
course.
city, like with all the
I will do.
Golden
I
Gate
will do a
Bridge
nice
and
video.
oh,
Yeah, I will do.
yeah.
I'm planning already to do it.
Nice, nice. Well, with that being said, thank you, you stay. I'll try the last name when I get off the podcast. I'm not going to try it right now. But with that being said, my name is Brian, and thank you everyone for listening. You stay. Do you have any closing thoughts, or we're good to end it here?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Brian. Really, thanks for doing this, and like for the fans who's watching this, really, I'm really excited to come to San Francisco and to attend the game this summer at least, and then I don't know, just be ready for 2026 because I know I am, and just thank you again.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that will cap it off here, folks. Have a good one.